Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some incredibly powerful concepts pulled directly from Thomas Alethea's expansive book, 12 Steps to a Good Life. Now, if you've ever felt just completely stuck when faced with a tough choice, or maybe you find yourself constantly battling decision fatigue, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to unpack a mental tool designed specifically to slice right through that paralysis.
It's super frustrating, isn't it? Why do we so often choose the easy way out, even when we know deep down that it's going to hurt us in the long run? We literally pick short-term comfort at the total expense of our long-term growth. We know we should exercise, but we sit on the couch instead. We know we should have that difficult conversation, but we just put it off. It's a universal human struggle. And to solve it, we first have to understand where all that friction actually comes from.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where that friction starts. As Aletheia notes in the text, quoting a friend, people only change when it is more painful not to. But what actually causes that pain? The source material explains that emotional pain results from a mismatch between reality and our perception of it. Basically, we experience discomfort when we act as though one thing is true, but the actual truth is something else entirely. So let's jump right into Section 1, the trap of immediate comfort or avoiding reality. You see, it's a fundamental human tendency to just run from uncertainty and seek the path of least resistance. The author uses this fantastic, vivid metaphor to explain the suffering caused by acting on a false perception of reality. Just imagine walking right into a closed glass door because you firmly believed it was open. Bam! Bruised nose, right? The pain is the direct result of reality clashing with what you wanted or believed to be true. When we avoid hard decisions, we're essentially pretending the glass door isn't there, just hoping we can magically walk right through it. To really elevate this point, Aletheia includes this profound quote from M. Scott Peck. Emotional sickness is avoiding reality at any cost. Emotional health is facing reality at any cost. Now, what's really interesting here is how incredibly stark that contrast is. Choosing comfortable illusions over hard truths isn't just, a bad habit. It is actively detrimental to our emotional health. That brings us to Section 2, uncovering your hidden payoffs, the mechanics of avoidance. To truly understand this avoidance, we need to dig into the exact psychological mechanics behind why we get paralyzed by choices in the first place. The absolutely crucial concept here is something called a payoff. The text defines a payoff as the benefit gained as the result of a previous action, or, and this is key, by refraining from action. Take a second right now and ask yourself, what hidden rewards do you get for avoiding hard choices? The author uses a great example, procrastination. Procrastinating on a difficult task temporarily relieves your anxiety. That relief, that's your payoff. You are trading long-term success for a short-term reduction in anxiety. So, who exactly is collecting these payoffs? The text asks us to picture a contrast playing out in our minds. The rational decision maker versus the instant gratification monkey. Your rational decision maker is the smart you, the part of your brain that plans ahead, acts responsibly, and genuinely wants to do the right thing. But then there's the instant gratification monkey. This guy lives purely in the moment, never worries about the future, and only values the comfort of the absolute present. And well, that monkey has some incredibly powerful tools at its disposal. The source material identifies a few cognitive biases that feed straight into our decision paralysis. Present bias causes us to choose comfort right now over long-term impact. Status quo bias makes us choose what's familiar and easy simply because it's what we're used to doing. And then confirmation bias ensures we only look for information that justifies taking the easy way out. These traps completely empower our desire for instant gratification. To summarize this whole internal battle, Aletheia gives us this powerful image. Your conscious mind rides on the shoulders of an 800-pound gorilla, which represents your unconscious. Think about that. You can make all the rational, conscious commitments you want, but until you figure out how to direct that massive 800-pound gorilla, it will instinctively steer you toward whatever is easiest and most comfortable. All right, here is the core of our explainer. Section 3, the uphill decisions heuristic. Short-circuiting decision paralysis. So, how do we actually outsmart the gorilla and the monkey? By using a strict, preset rule designed specifically to cut through decision paralysis, the uphill decisions heuristic. Here is how it works. When you're faced with two equally difficult choices, you must actively choose the option that feels more painful in the short term.
This acts as a powerful rule to completely bypass your natural biases. You don't have to endlessly debate the choice anymore. The rule makes the decision for you. Just look at the two paths before us. On the left, we have the default human setting, short-term comfort leading straight to long-term pain. But on the right, we have the uphill decision, short-term pain leading to a long-term benefit. By applying this strict rule, it forces you to counter that natural human bias of overvaluing immediate ease. And honestly, embracing that temporary discomfort is the only real way to achieve meaningful future success. Let's look at how to apply this. Section 4, defeating instant gratification. Don't feed the PIG. How do we actually execute these difficult uphill commitments in our daily lives without our willpower just completely collapsing? Well, first you have to remember this awesome acronym from the text. Don't feed the PIG. PIG stands for personal instant gratification. These are those quick rewards that usually come at the direct expense of your long-term goals. Every single time you indulge in a quick, easy choice to avoid an uphill decision, you are basically feeding the PIG and starving your long-term potential. To stop feeding the PIG, the source material offers 3 super actionable steps to lock your hard decisions into motion. Step 1, micro-commitments. Break the hard decision down into the absolute smallest possible action you can do right this second, like just writing a single sentence. Step 2, implementation intentions. Use an if-then formula. For example, if I feel overwhelmed tomorrow, then I will take a 10-minute walk before starting work. Step 3, the 5-second rule. Just count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then physically move. This totally interrupts your hesitation before fear and doubt can even kick in. Which leads us to our final section, Section 5, embracing long-term reality, participating in life. Applying these steps brings us to the climax of this whole cognitive shift, accepting that life is inherently unmanageable. The text outlines 3 different scenarios for change. Scenario 1, you crash into reality through your own poor choices, like walking right into that glass door. Scenario 2, reality crashes into you through events totally beyond your control, like an unexpected illness. But scenario 3 is where the magic happens. You participate in reality. Making the uphill choice is exactly how we proactively participate. You aren't forcing reality, and you aren't hiding from it. You become a partner with it, kind of like a surfer riding a wave. And, hey, when you feel totally overwhelmed by the wave, the author shares this incredible staple from recovery programs. Do the next right thing. It's so simple, but honestly, it is so effective. When you are paralyzed, just conflicting with yourself, reduce time down to this exact moment. Simplify your burden. Just do the next right thing, even if that thing is small and uncomfortable. So I want to end with a provocative question for you to really think about today. What uphill decision are you avoiding right now? What is the choice that feels way more painful in the short term, but you know for sure is the right thing to do? Use the heuristic. Don't feed the pig. Count down from 5 and take that uphill step today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.